welcome back to the 𝐚𝐭 Homestead. I'm 𝐚𝐭. Today we're going to be doing something super awesome. I'm going to show you guys how you can vacuum seal flour to put into your long-term storage. So vacuum sealed flour can last up to 10 to 15 years, and that is a way longer shelf life than the package is going to give you. All you need are a few things: a vacuum sealer. My vacuum sealer I got on sale at Costco. You're gonna need a mason jar. You can choose whatever size mason jar you want. Flour, a brown paper bag, and then an extra attachment for your vacuum sealer so you can vacuum seal in jars. In this video, I'm going to show you two methods of how to vacuum seal your flour, and you can use whatever one works for you. Reasons you might want to store up flour for long-term storage is because if there is a food shortage, a flour shortage, you don't want to be affected. You still want to be able to make homemade breads, cookies, pastries, and the traditional flour package that you get your flour in from the store is going to only last like 3 to 8 months. Whereas if you take the flour that you get from the store and then vacuum seal it, you're going to have a way longer shelf life, up to 10 to 15 years. Granted, you keep an eye on it, make sure water and air are not seeping in, resealing if necessary. Super nice and a convenient way to have flour always on your shelf. Storing flour long-term in a brown paper bag still requires a vacuum sealer, because after we put the flour into the brown bag, we are then going to put the brown bag into the food saver bag, and then that is where we will vacuum seal it. So let me show you. You can also get brown paper bags from literally any grocery store, Walmart, and they also have different sizes of brown bags, so whatever, again, works for your storage. So we're just going to scoop the flour into the brown paper bag. The benefit of using a brown paper bag inside of the food saver bag, because you might be wondering why you just don't put flour into the food saver bag that's already in the vacuum sealer, is because this is gonna keep your flour organized and stand up just like this. So it kind of just acts like a normal storage bag that you would get your flour in from the grocery store. Some nifty things that you can do with your flour storage is you can pre-measure out for recipes. So say a recipe calls for 3 cups of flour, you can get small brown paper bags, put 3 cups of flour in there, then vacuum seal them and label on there whatever that recipe was for. So when you're making that recipe in the future, you can just grab and go. I have all of my flour in there. Just gonna fold it over. And then you can vacuum seal it like this, but something that helps a lot that I've learned is to just put like a little piece of tape right here. Usually I use masking tape, but this is the only tape I have that's similar to masking tape, just the blue tape that I use for projects around the house. And now we're on to the vacuum sealer. All right, so we have our vacuum sealer. Like I mentioned, this is just the vacuum sealer I got from Costco. I did a full review of pros and cons on it. I am pretty happy with this vacuum sealer. I feel like it was a good deal. So these are the food saver bags, and it just comes in an open-ended roll like this. And you can make your desired bag length, which I'm about to do. So this is going to be the end of the bag. We're going to seal it. So I just bring it down, lock it, press seal. It's sealing. It is now done sealing. So it's sealed all the way across the edge right here. Now we're gonna make the size of food saver bag that we need, and keep in mind we have to fit this brown paper bag into it. So this is going to be a larger bag. I've learned to always make the bag larger, because a larger bag you can just reuse as you open it or reuse for other things, but a smaller bag you might just end up wasting. So I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. So it's gonna be a big bag. So I'm just gonna cut it. Has a little cut right here, little razor to go across and cut. And now we have a vacuum seal bag. So we're just gonna open this. We're going to put our flour in there. Oh, this was the perfect size. All right. You see, like, it's hard to gauge by distance, but the more that you vacuum seal, the better you're gonna be able to gauge how big to make your bags. But this is perfect. So, you put the edge of the bag into the green portion, you close it, and now we vacuum seal. Close it all the way, and I just press vacuum, and it's on dry. And ta-da! So I was putting my hands on and pushing down on my vacuum sealer because I noticed that it will vacuum seal a lot faster. You don't have to do that, but with this vacuum sealer, my specific one, I feel like it helps. So that's why I was doing that. We now have vacuum sealed flour. You'll want to label the bag, flour, and the date. And now this is good for your long-term food storage. All right, now let's vacuum seal some flour for long-term storage into a glass mason jar. A funnel will help you with this so you don't make much of a mess, but if you want to wing it, you totally can. And this is also a great way to use old lids that you're not going to reuse for canning. So this is from when I canned up some Roma salsa. I opened that jar, saved the lid, and now I will be using it for flour. So all you're going to do is just scoop the flour into there. This is a quart mason jar, so as you can see, yes, it does make a little bit of a mess, but it literally wouldn't be my kitchen if I didn't make a mess of some sort. So we're just going to go all the way to the top. Now we're ready to go. So it's just literally filling a jar full of flour. This method will require an extra accessory for your vacuum sealer if it didn't come with the jar accessory. Mine didn't from Costco, so I just had to order this on Amazon. Don't worry, I'll put the links down below. This is a regular size for the regular mouth jars. There are also the wide mouth size for wide mouth jars. I do have both, and I would recommend getting both because you never know what you will want to use when you are storing up foods. So all you do is it has this hole in the top, and this is for my vacuum sealer. It has a handheld accessory, right? So I just pop this off, put into the top like that. I put my lid on. I put this over the top, and then I click on my vacuum sealer handheld. You could kind of see the flour moving as it was being vacuum sealed. And it is now sealed. All right, you guys ready for the test? Look at that. This lid should be coming off under normal circumstances because it's not attached by anything, but it is now vacuum sealed. Pretty cool. Just a reminder, this is not a replacement for properly canning foods. Do not can up foods with your vacuum sealer. This is just a way to get out the oxygen in your jars or bags. All right, you now know 2 ways of how to store flour long term with the jar and the accessory on your vacuum sealer, and also in a brown bag and the food saver bags that your vacuum sealer comes with. I feel like the vacuum sealer is a great tool for food preservation and building your food storage. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I find myself using it all the time for like making space in my freezer, making space in my pantry, and putting things like flour, which I use all the time. I use so much flour. I would be gutted if there was a flour shortage and I didn't have flour to make like cookies and foods and everything that I make with flour. My breads, I make bread all the time. So this is a great way to put up flour, and I hope that you guys learned and you enjoyed this video. You can comment down below with any questions that you might have, and I appreciate you guys spending time with me. So don't do anything you don't want to do, and happy homesteading. Bye!